Cereal time, cereal time, cereal time, whoa.
Surprise! Surprise! I am very surprised.
What's up, cereal heads? Today we're going to talk about Mr. Wonderfull Surprize. This cereal was introduced by General Mills back in 1972, way before I was born. It was a short-lived cereal that was gone by the following year, so I never got to try it. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any unopened boxes, so we won't be able to see what the cereal looked like. And there's very little about this cereal online. No commercials, no pictures of the actual cereal. But it was such a cool cereal brand that I wish I got to try, so let's see if we can piece together some things about this cereal over this brief video. So these two boxes hit stores around 1972. There was a vanilla version and a chocolate version. It was called Mr. Wonderfull Surprize, and as you can see here, Wonderfull was spelled with two L's and Surprise was spelled with a Z. Why? Well, I have no idea. Maybe they wanted to teach kids bad spelling habits. Or maybe they thought spelling surprise with a Z is zany and fun. But I think the two L's in Wonderfull was because this cereal was full of filling. It was the biggest selling point of this cereal. You can see on both boxes it says it's the only cereal with the creamy chocolate or vanilla filling. So we don't have any pictures of the actual cereal, but we can tell from the boxes that the pieces were little puffs made from corn and rice, and inside each puff was a creamy frosting-like filling. Since this cereal, we've seen other filled cereals. Hidden Treasures was one of my favorites from back in the day. Those pieces were square in shape and they were filled with a fruity frosting. And then of course there's the cereal that shall not be named, which features gross, dense pieces with a little amount of chocolate frosting inside. Maybe that's the closest cousin to Mr. Wonderfull Surprise, but I sure hope not. I like to believe this cereal was really good and that the cereal pieces were amazing, not like the cereal that shall not be named. Let's take a closer look at these boxes. First, the mascot, Mr. Wonderfull. He looks like a crazy, fun inventor type of guy with his wacky polka dot jacket, purple pants, orange hair, and what looks like some periscope hat on his head. And again, I don't know if there are any commercials for this cereal, but you can just hear what his voice would sound like, right? I pictured as some version of Bobcat Goldthwait. YouTube him if you don't know who I'm talking about. And even though we never got a commercial, we did get a comic on the back of one of these cereal boxes. Let's take a look and see if it reveals anything about his personality. So it starts with a coach telling kids how to stay in shape, and then Mr. Wonderfull shows up and yells, "Surprise!" with a Z. He then proceeds to tell the kids that the best way to stay in shape is to eat his cereal with their balanced breakfast, which included a 4-ounce glass of juice, 2 slices of buttered toast, and an 8-ounce glass of milk. The nutritional advice of the 70s when that's what a balanced breakfast looked like. Then he pours a bowl of his cereal for the kids and he tells them that it'll help them stay ready for any surprise all the way until lunchtime. So it doesn't really give us any insight to his character, but it does reveal something interesting about how this cereal was marketed to parents as a healthy, nutritious cereal for kids to start their day with. And surprisingly, this was something they really leaned heavily on while promoting this cereal. Here's a coupon from Mr. Wonderfull Surprise where you could save 7 cents. It brags about being the only cereal with a creamy filling inside, and then down there in the description it says that moms love the cereal because it's fortified with 8 essential vitamins and iron. Then here's another print ad where they tell you this funny looking character is very serious about good nutrition. He's holding up a list of all the vitamins this cereal contains and the percentage of them your kids get from this candy. Sorry, I mean cereal. Even on the backs of these boxes they had the same spiel about how healthy and nutritious this cereal was for you. They were probably trying to get out in front of all the complaints they were going to get from concerned moms and dads. But the thing is, parents aren't stupid. You can't look at a cereal like this, corn and rice puffs filled with a creamy, sugary frosting, and think that's healthy. Here's an article from when this cereal first came out, and it gives us a little peek behind the curtain as to why this stuff might not have lasted too long. It says, consumer groups score new cereal. A group of nutritionists and consumer organizations criticize today a new cereal being test marketed by General Mills. The critics call the cereal a sugar-filled junk food, and they urge the company to scrap it. The product, called Mr. Wonderfull Surprise, spelled wrong, is being sold so far only in Buffalo. It consists of about 30% sugar and 14% saturated fat, according to the Center for Science and the Public Interest, a privately financed consumer group that hopes to get the product dropped before it gets out of Buffalo. The cereal consists of hollow puffs with cream-filled centers. A General Mills spokesman, Graham Molitor, said the attack was a case of chasing ghosts with sledgehammers. Cereal grains, corn and rice, are the predominant part of the product, Mr. Molitor said, but because there are 2 kinds of grain, they must be listed separately on the ingredient panel. Thus, even though corn and rice together account for over 50% of the total product, sugar is listed as the predominant ingredient since neither grain alone is present in a larger quantity than the sugar, Mr. Molitor said. Dr. Michael Jacobson, co-director of the center, said a letter urging General Mills to scrap the product had been signed by more than 125 nutritionists, dentists, dietitians, and citizen groups. And you can see what they're talking about right here in the ingredients. Sugar is listed as the predominant ingredient. So look, I have no idea if that's why the cereal was discontinued. Maybe this had no effect and General Mills just stopped making it because the sales were bad, or maybe it was a combination of both. But either way, Mr. Wonderfull Surprise wasn't long for this world. The article said the cereal was tested in Buffalo, New York first, but I'm pretty sure it expanded to other regions before it was discontinued. I've read many comments online from people who remember and love this stuff from back in the day. I've also read comments from people saying that despite the awesome taste of this cereal, you would often open a box and find hollow pieces and dried up frosting that had leaked or exploded out of the puffs. So maybe the manufacturing process for the cereal just wasn't fine-tuned. Let's take a look at the prizes and premiums that you can find inside this cereal. First, on this vanilla one, you can see there was free puzzle cards inside. You can see on the back they explain the puzzle cards. You get 30 in a set, and there were 2 sets you could collect. Animal cards mixed with Mr. Wonderfull cards, head, body, and feet, and you can mix and match them all to create your own fun characters. Here's what those puzzle cards look like. This photo is courtesy of my buddy Jason Liebig, who runs Collecting Candy website and a great Instagram page. He's got such a great candy and cereal archive. So you can see here all the animals and 2 Mr. Wonderfulls that you punch out and use the interlocking slots to make your own characters. And then on this chocolate box, you could get a free super ruler inside. What's a super ruler? Well, let's take a look at the back of the box and find out. Looks like it was a 6-inch long ruler that you could connect to other rulers that you collect. There were 4 colors total, and you could use it to measure stuff and make, quote, hundreds of drawings with the cutout shapes. I think I would have preferred the puzzle cards, but hey, at least you got prizes back then, better than today when we have nothing inside our cereal boxes. There's also this other box I've seen of vanilla Mr. Wonderfull Surprise that featured a free bicycle clicker inside. You can see on the back of that box they show you how to attach the bicycle clicker so you could ride around annoying people with that clicking sound. Kids used to do similar stuff with playing cards to make that annoying sound back in the day. Crazy fact, that box was going for sale on eBay for $3,500. I don't think anybody's actually buying it. That's an absurd amount of money to pay for a cereal box, but it is super rare. I think it's one of a kind. I've never seen another box out there like that. I wish I was able to try this cereal, but I don't see General Mills ever rebooting it. It seems like this cereal is too much like candy and not nutritious enough for them to give it another try. So that's pretty much all I've got for Mr. Wonderfull Surprise. I wish I had more info or more pictures or a commercial to share with you. If you're old enough to remember this cereal, please let me know in the comments. Do you remember a commercial or any other interesting tidbits that I left out? I'd love to hear your memories on this stuff. Alright, well, that's gonna do it. As always, thank you for watching. And until next time, stay crunchy. Oh, by the way, did I mention Crave sucks?
Cereal time.